Well, good morning. It's Wednesday morning, about 7 a.m. You got 3 days left this week. It almost seems like a week every day, doesn't it? With all the stuff going on with the pandemic, but you've got 3 days left this week, and I want you to make the most of them. And you can still get accomplished all of the goals that you need to get accomplished this week. It just means you got to start pushing really hard if you haven't already hit them for the week. I'm about 50% through with mine, so I'm a little bit ahead, but I still have a lot to do. I'm gonna have to push pretty hard today and tomorrow to make sure I get everything done by Friday. But I'm gonna do it, and you can do it too. One thought I had this morning, just real quick, if you can want to spend a minute or two with me, is I came from the restoration industry before I came to BBSI. And at BBSI, I help businesses with their planning, right? We do payroll, workers' comp, all sorts of other human resources. So we're busy during this time right now. But it's not that much different than when I was in the restoration industry. And the restoration industry, I had 5 franchises. We dealt with disasters, natural disasters, floods, fires, storms, you name it, would wreak havoc to cities and to buildings. And we would go in there and take care of that. We even chased hurricanes for a while, where we would be, I really shouldn't say chase them, but we would get called out to do work at hurricanes, and we'd send a crew, and they'd be set up there for a month, working on buildings and restoring things there. And right now, I feel like I'm back in the restoration industry. And that's because a lot of the issues that we deal with are very similar right now. A hurricane, you've got a tropical disturbance that turns into a tropical depression, turns into a tropical storm, and then it's a hurricane and it does all this damage. And there's different stages and different things within there that the forecasters can look at. Okay, that's pretty simple for a forecaster to see. And they can look at their models and where it's going to go and what's going to happen, and then afterwards we're left with whatever the was in the wake of that storm to go back and restore. Right now we're in the same type of a thing. The forecasters are saying, hey, it's going to be terrible. We're going to have to shut down the country. Oh, wait, we did, and we're going to have to do a stay at home, stay safe, or a shelter in place type rule. Throughout the country, we're seeing that, and throughout different spots of even our state, we're seeing different ways of handling that. Well, that's causing all sorts of other effects, and we don't know what the full effect of that's going to be. Thank goodness we've got some hope with the CARES Act, that's giving us a little bit of a shot in the arm to help out when it comes to some funds to pay employees and to keep open. However, that's just a short temporary fix. It's up to you and me, right, to look at our own businesses and figure out what do we need to do to be successful during the storm and to be able to come out of it and restore what needs to be restored. And so after a storm, when we'd roll into a town, or if it happened in our own city, and that happened at times too, to where we had to take a look and assess real quickly. We get 100 phone calls in an afternoon, and I could only handle maybe 20 floods a day, and that's a lot. That's actually really stretching, but we could do that. But I couldn't handle 100. So for the first week, we're working 24/7, and I really mean 24/7. You're maybe getting 3-4 hours sleep a day if you're lucky. You can't sustain that. Okay, you can't sustain that in this either. All right, the last couple of weeks I've been working probably 14 to 16 hours a week. I'm sorry, a day. And with that, that was what was needed. As of this weekend, I've kind of gone to the mode I did in disasters, which is, okay, it's a 12-hour day. And the reason it's a 12-hour day is because I need to get rest. I need to have a little bit of mental time as well with my family, right? A little bit of emotional time with my family. Last night we played Chopped. It's like that TV game where you have a bunch of weird ingredients and have to make dinner. We made 2 different dinners and judged it and everything. It was a lot of fun. Probably the best mental health break I've had in a month. It was wonderful. I'm so thankful to my kids for saying, Dad, we need to do something fun with you. And so make sure you're taking that time too. But even in those storms when there was disaster happening around us, if we weren't on our game, we couldn't be that helpful. Having guys working 16 to 20 hours a day after that first week or two, you're doing a disservice to your client. You're doing a disservice to yourself. Mistakes are going to be made before you know it. Those mistakes could be costly enough to even put you out of business. And so you have to get to that point that you have the right energy, right? And respect for your employees as well, right? And yourself. You need that time. So find out what that is for you. And like I said, right now I'm working at about 12 hours a day. And this weekend's the first weekend I've actually taken some decent time off. It was kind of nice Saturday and Sunday to spend with my family. And however, here I am. This week I'm back to it. I'm working my 12, trying to keep it at 12 hours a day. But but working with business owners, helping them through these types of things in their business. So what do you need to do? You need to assess, after a storm, and right now we're doing both, by the way. We're looking at an offense play and a defense play because we don't know what the storm is bringing. Are we in the eye of the storm? Did it miss us? Is it, are we only going to be semi-affected? Is it going to affect other people? Or is it going to come through and really wreak havoc? Are there going to be some tornadoes that hit my business, right? Starting tomorrow or next week. So we have to still be looking at the defensive side. How do you need to look at cutting costs and expenses, looking for what lines of business to really go after and which things maybe to put on a shelf for now because it's just not a productive time to be building that thing. And as we do that, prepare yourself for another 6 weeks of this, prepare yourself for another 3 months of this or 6 months of this before things kind of come back. I don't know if they'll snap back as quick as what President Trump is saying. It'd be wonderful if it does. I would love that. I think we'd all love that. Let's have hope on that, but let's also be realistic here and plan for the alternative on that. And so be looking at the defensive side there, but don't forget your offense. It's time to also be playing offense really strong. Get out there, talk to your clients, talk to your vendors, right? Talk to your customers, your prospects, and make sure that you're keeping up what you need to do to keep your pipeline fat. So you've got those good leads coming in, and even though it's tough and it's different, that's okay. Sometimes I could be different. I could be tough. I'll match it. You can match it. Get out there, get ahead of it. Get out on the offense. Find a way to create that business the way it needs to be. And again, have hope and keep pushing on that, but also look at that defense side. You have to play both parts of this game at once.